Welcome back to, this is the post-lockdown Cook with the Winking. Right? Took a break for the lockdown, keep everybody safe, and now we're out of lockdown, so we're back. And we're gonna do these weekly, all right? And from the feedback I'm seeing, you guys, it's like wings seem to get the most views. So the first one after lockdown we're gonna do is unbreaded wings for keto. Yeah, and also during the summertime, sometimes the breading is just a bit too heavy. So I'm gonna show you how to make wings with no flour, but still taste really good and keep the skin really crispy and the chicken really nice and juicy. You know, these games were fun, but now the fun's over. It's time to go to work.
In there, relax Bo below and finish at the rim.
To get the ball inside. Moments ago, that good penetration, finding that open jumper for the three, but they've got to keep Ford on him.
My name is Olu Babylona, former professional basketball player, now cooking buffalo wings and chicken wings. Chicken wings. So now we'll do the blue cheese. So, as we said, no flour, no breading, yeah? So it's keto friendly, right? A lot of people are into this keto diet where they're keeping up the carbs and they swear by it. I've tried it and I guess I did feel I felt a little bit lighter, but I've met a few people these past couple months who swear by it. And also it definitely is a lighter option. And with the summertime coming, always best to keep things as light as possible so you don't feel heavy when the sun's out. All right, so the ingredients are, get your wings. Now, this kind of process, the way we're going to cook it, it's going to be different. So what's going to happen here is if you can get big wings from a butcher's, if you're going to the grocery store, you're not going to get wings big enough. In which case, when you're cooking them, cook them whole, the whole thing. Don't cut it in half, right? But if you can get big wings like I have here from a butcher, you can cut them. Reason being is we're going to simmer these wings in hot water, right? So when you do that, you're gonna shrink the size of the chicken, right? Nando's serves their chicken wings whole like this. I'm pretty sure for that exact reason. That if they cut them, because they steam their chicken, that's gonna make the chicken smaller. So I'm pretty sure the reason why they sell the chicken whole like that is because if they were to cut them during the steaming process, they would just be really, really small. And as much as you're paying for Nando's already, you'd really be pissed off, right? So, get some good wings. If they're good size, cut them in half. If not, leave them whole, right? So all we need is chicken. You need any root veg you like. We've got red onion. I got some peppers here. Some garlic in the fridge. We're gonna throw garlic in as well. We're gonna throw it in a pot. We're gonna simmer it. It's very important, right? Do not boil, yeah? If the water's too hot, the chicken's gonna go like this, tense up, shrink, and be tough to eat, right?
Why are you smiling?
I'm not smiling, I'm tense and I'm agitated.
You want to cook it from cold water, let the water get to the warm, lukewarm. As it bubbles, that's where you want to maintain it. And let it cook there and sit there for about 15 to 20 minutes. Now, the good thing with this process is it's a cheat code for the barbecue, right? So let's say you're having a barbecue. This is a key tip right here, probably the best one I'll give you. If you're cooking chicken on a barbecue, it needs to be cooked prior unless you're some sort of grill master, right? Doing this in the water 15-20 minutes the night before you want to barbecue your chicken, right? Take it out the water, season it, put it in the fridge. That chicken is fully cooked now, yeah? The next day, when you slap it on the barbecue, as we said, it's fully cooked, super high temperature just to get the outside nice and crispy, and it's ready to go, right? So it's the same process here, other than we're not barbecuing it. We're gonna simmer it in the water so it's fully cooked. Take it out, season it. You can cook it the next day, the day after, 2-3 days in the fridge is fine. We're gonna fry it, flash fry it, and that's gonna get the skin super crispy. But that's all we're looking for because, as we said already, we've already simmered it and it's fully cooked in the stock water. And once that chicken is cooked, the water is chicken stock now. So you can use that to flavor other dishes like a pasta dish or anything else you might need chicken stock for, right? So these wings are, again, I said, they're pretty big. So I'm gonna cut them in half, throw them in the pot, throw the veg in the pot, put enough water just to cover, not too much, not too little, just to cover the chicken. Put it on a nice low heat and let it simmer for 20 minutes. So with the veg, it doesn't really matter what you do with it. You ain't even gotta cut it. Just break it up. Get everything in the pot. Get it all in. It doesn't matter about the size. So long as it all fits in. Keep the skin on, doesn't matter. If you're gonna keep the stock at the end after you've cooked the chicken, just drain it off, pass it through a sieve, whatever. You can keep the stock in the freezer for about 2 months. It's good to go. Some people put them in ice cube trays. The less water you put in, the more concentrated the stock. So try and use as least water as possible. Just cover the chicken. Yeah, that way the next day your stock should look gelatinous, should look like a jelly. And that's when you know you got a good stock. If it's runny and watery, not great. If it's like a jelly, that's a good stock. Strain it. Again, put them in little ice cube trays, throw them in the freezer, and that's a lot of flavor you got for future dishes. The more water you use, the less gelatinous your stock will be after you've cooked it. So as less water as possible, as much chicken as you can get in there. The more chicken you got, the more gelatinous your stock will be, right? But we're only doing 10 wings here, so we only need a little bit of water. This will cook for about 20 minutes, and then the chicken's pretty much cooked and ready to go. It's just a matter of flash frying it to get the skin crispy. If you're trying to stay away from oil, instead of frying them, you can throw them in the oven at a high temperature, like 200, 220 for about 15 minutes. Remember, the good thing about this is it's cooked all the way through, so there's nothing to worry about as far as like any type of poisoning or sickness or whatever. It's already cooked, we're just getting the skin crispy. So we let this simmer for 15 minutes, right? You've seen how the water was bubbling. That's about as aggressive as you want it. You don't want the water to bubble any more than that, because that's when you start to lose the size of the chicken. It starts to shrink. Meat is a protein, right? So any protein, if you put it in hot water, it's going to seize up. Egg, same thing. When you fry an egg, if the oil's too hot, and you know when you pull it in, they go, it shrinks up and it tenses up and it gets tight. You don't want that, right? You want it. If you want to fry an egg, low, make sure the oil is nice and low, and bring the temperature up slow. And that's how you get a better cooked egg. And any meat you're cooking, same thing, right? So yeah, make sure the water's not too hot. It has to be a simmer and nothing more, right? As I've shown you on the other clip. That's about as aggressive as you want the water, right? You don't want it going crazy, because that's when the meat will tense up and shrink, and it won't taste good at all, right? Now, the best thing about this process is this chicken is fully cooked, right? You can do anything from here. You can eat it right now. If you wanted to go right now, this is kind of how you would make the chicken if you were making a chicken noodle soup. At this stage, you would strip it off the bone, throw it back in the stock with whatever else you put in there, your noodles, whatever. This chicken is cooked and ready for whatever you want to do. So now we'll just take it out of the stock, and this water here, it's really good. Don't throw this away, right? Just let it cool down, take out all the veg, and keep it. Once it's come to room temperature, put it in the fridge if you're going to use it within the next few days. If not, freeze it up, right? But don't throw it away, don't waste it, it's really good. So once you've taken the chicken out of the stock, you want to season it once again. I'm obviously using my seasoning, but you can use any. You can even just use salt, right? But you can season it pretty heavy. Yeah, get it all on there, and you can leave that. Now, if you want to do a barbecue, leave that at room temperature. Once it gets to room temperature, put it in the fridge. If you're eating it now, you can throw it right in the oven right now, or you can fry it. However you want, you plan on cooking it. It's good to go now. But this is the best thing to do for a barbecue, though, for sure. This is kind of like the Nando's process as well. So if you was to order this from Nando's, it would be here. When they put it on the grill top where you can see in front of them. But the process behind that you don't see is what we've just done for the most part, right? Throwing that on the grill now with Nando's sauce, if that's what you like, the ones they sell in Tesco or wherever. You can put that on the grill top, griddle pan, sorry, sauce, high heat, aggressive heat, keep saucing it, whatever. But what we're doing is we're frying these without no flour, just to show you the process. But the reason why it's important, this part, is because this is where you're going to get the flavour from, right? Anywhere else you get wings from now, Unbreaded, guarantee you most of them don't do this, right? The simmering in the stock is where you're going to get a whole bunch of flavour from, and your wings won't be bland. And all this seasoning on top of the chicken, it's no good for me. Like, you want to get as much seasoning penetrated to the bone as possible so that it permeates through the whole chicken, right? So again, you can do what you want from here. You can leave that to cool down, wrap it up, put it in the fridge. That's good for tomorrow or the day after. You can cook it straight away. We're gonna fry this now. High heat, it's like 180, 190. And again, as I keep reiterating, it's already cooked, so we're just getting the skin nice and crispy. Once it's crispy, we take it out, and we're good to go, right? So once those are fried, what you gotta do is get them nice and golden on the outside, and good to go. As soon as they come out the oil, just a tiny touch, a bit more seasoning, right? You don't need much though, because you spend a lot of effort on making sure that they're well seasoned. So just a tiny little touch of seasoning at the end, and they're good to go. Any sauce, whatever you feel like, sauce them up, serve them up, right? Unbreaded, keto-friendly chicken wings for the summertime. Thanks for watching. Cook with the Wing King. Back. We're gonna do a whole bunch of episodes. Don't forget to like, subscribe, tell a friend. Leave something in the comments if you want something specific, or if you don't understand something I'm saying. Any information, leave them in the comments and I'll get to it. Thank you.